This is the video blog for Module 4 for the Counseling 500 class. This session we were asked to look at the 3 video and reflect on them as far as they are. The first question that was asked for this blog was, were these normal situations? Why or why not? I think all 3 of them are common issues that you would have somebody come in for counseling. The first one is basically he's using the counselor as a sounding board or a test case to practice articulating what he wants to say when he goes home. The presentation on homesick was really redefining her identity and needing somebody to help her walk through that process and give her some encouragement to be brave enough to continue. And the last one was much more about getting in touch with her personal emotions, since she's no longer using dance to hide behind. And what skills did we notice? Well, first off was the body language that all 3 of them used to engage their client. The other one was to refuse to take responsibility for the client's choices, but encourage them to develop their own solutions. In each of the presentations, well, the first one, brainstorming, he was required to kind of address his own fears of not meeting the expectations when he went home. In homesick, she provided a safe space for owning her own feelings about her new choices. And dancing and helping, he didn't say, well, this is what you should do. What he did say was, this is what you can do. The question was, what similarities and differences did we see in the counselings, and what counseling characteristics did we notice? Well, let's go through each one of them separately. In brainstorming, there was reflective listening going on. He was engaging and reflecting back to the client what was going on. His body language was also communicating that he was engaged because he was leaning forward, and although this is a bad picture, he had good eye contact. The affirming head nods showed that he was in an active listening mode, even though he was being quiet. He summarized the client's courses of action, and he used his words without suggesting a specific one that he should apply. In the presentation of homesick, the first thing that she did was affirm the choice to come in for counseling. Again, the body language, she was leaning forward and kept really strong eye contact and affirming head nods to prove that she was actively listening. The open-ended questions that she had really tried to get the client to start to own and to go deeper into what she was feeling. There was the reflective listening, which means that she would hear what she said and then repeat it back or paraphrase it. And there was the empathetic comment at the very end, which is it's really scary to open up. Lastly, in the dancing or helping presentation, his body language was different than the other 2. He was leaned back in a relaxed position, reflecting the nervousness of his client so that his relaxation helped her relax and start to open up. He used the same head nods and affirmative active silence, but he used some very good open-ended questions to get the client to go into deeper exploration. He opened up issues of her inability to identify her own feelings, which is basically a real start of the assessment process. So what skills did we notice? First off, like I said, in all 3 of them, there was active or reflective listening. All of them established an active rapport, creating a safe space for self-disclosure. They all used open-ended questions. They used encouragement, both verbal and nonverbal. Really strong eye contact. They were all non-directive, and the real thing that was there was the active use of silence. What characteristics did you notice? Well, first off, the body language that we have talked about quite a bit. The questions that came up for me were, what assessment did they make of the client's need for further counseling? It seems to me that 1 or 2 of them could have been perfectly helped by 1 session, and there's been a lot of things that I've read that said that a single session or small numbers of sessions are just as effective. And the other one is when to ask and what questions to ask, the open-ended questions to get the client to open up. So that is my input for the blog.